Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Farce, where we review and discuss your and our favorite comedy films. This is the world's first and only combination trivia host and professional wrestling announcer of Chilean descent that currently resides in Southern California, Ozzy V. And with me, as always, on this program, first in the Northern California Bay Area, world-famous juggler Craig Larson. How you doing, Craig?
I'm fantastic. How about yourself, Ozzy?
I'm okay. I'm all right.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, we had a little conversation about another film that made me feel like the Grinch, but that's another conversation for another time. Also with us, ladies and gentlemen, Flesh Room producer Todd. How you doing, Todd?
Chilling with the vengeance.
I can't wait till we review Die Hard with a Vengeance. But right now, we are not. We are actually reviewing How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Ron Howard film with Jim Carrey, released on November 17th, 2000. Todd, do you have a trailer available?
Yes, sir.
Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot.
Wrong-o.
The Grinch! I must stop this Christmas from coming!
Director Ron Howard and producer Brian Grazer invite you
Forgot about the reindeer. Action! Brilliant!
to celebrate the holiday classic
Holiday Hoobie Waddy.
Doesn't this seem like a bit much?
in theaters.
This could change my entire outlook on life!
Really?
No.
Jim Carrey,
Even if we're horribly mangled.
There'll be no sad faces on Christmas.
Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Even if I wanted to go, my schedule wouldn't allow it. 4 o'clock, wallow in self-pity. 6:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again.
Back in theaters this holiday season.
And that was the trailer for How the Grinch Stole Christmas, again released on November 17th, 2000, with a runtime of 104 minutes, rated PG. The story written by Dr. Seuss, screenplay by Jeffrey Price and Peter S. Seaman, with directed by Ron Howard, starring Jim Carrey in the title role and Taylor Momsen as Cindy Lou Who, featuring also Jeffrey Tambor, Anthony Hopkins as the narrator. So initial thoughts on this. I remember seeing this around the time it came out, and I believe that was the last time I saw this movie. It was in theaters when I was a teenager.
How did teenage Ozzy like this?
Teenage Ozzy was okay with it because
But not enough to revisit it.
not enough to revisit it because it was too Christmassy.
Hmm.
And there's a nice 30-minute version that gets the story done quicker.
That's what I remember coming out of it, is going into it thinking, okay, the original animated movie that we've all watched and known for decades is 25 minutes long. How are we going to fit 104 minutes? Or how's the story going to stretch in 104 minutes? And one of those things we could have done without. But some of the things, or rather,
Let me guess, the love story?
no, not that actually.
Oh, that's an Ozzy of you.
Should be easy. No, what I have to say is very Ozzy of me.
Okay, well, then we'll get to that. I guess that's not opening thoughts.
Although I will say it, I mean, maybe this can go into the critique, but well, I did appreciate seeing more of like the Whoverse, for lack of a better term, because with this original story, you just had the Grinch. He doesn't like Christmas. He goes try to do this, and then the story solves itself. But with the movie, it allowed you to kind of get a good feel of the atmosphere and the type of world that was intended to be conveyed, I think, from Seuss himself. I think this film did a good job in terms of, well, you have to come to the realization that Jim Carrey's the only actor who can be that kind of cartoony and really just make you lose yourself in that story, because you stop seeing Jim Carrey and you actually see this character, and he is that kind of actor that can be a cartoon character.
Couple times.
What's that?
I was saying a couple times he turned into Tony Clifton for me, but that was just when he was angry. And it was hard. It was like immediately took me to that.
or the mask when he was in his conga line. And it's funny you say that because like I didn't realize until this viewing, and I've seen this movie multiple times. I didn't even realize Molly Shannon or Jeffrey Tambor because the costume was so great, and they were. It really made you feel these different characters in this universe. So
Right. Now, teenage Ozzy didn't have a problem with it because from I've been a baby till now, one thing that's a soft spot I have is dogs. And the way they characterize this dog in this film, it just made you laugh every single time.
eh.
And it wasn't through like cheap CGI, especially like my favorite moment with the shot of the dog is I'll get into that later, but as far as teenage Ozzy's concerned, that's where I kind of like had an anchor point, like the dog's the greatest part about this movie. There were actually some things that hit a little bit better this time around after being an adult, obviously. So it was nice that some of those lines were in there. To
Yeah, there was a lot I caught that I didn't last time I watched this. Like one might even be in my favorite moments.
But I will say I did enjoy this more than I did the first time. This is the second time I've ever seen it, with the first time being in the theaters. I will say that I did enjoy it more this time around than I did the first time around. There's some things I wish, we'll get to that shortly.
Yeah.
But how about initial thoughts for you guys?
I'll go first on this one because I know Greg, you're a big fan of this one. If saying
Yeah.
that, all right. I've never really like loved this one. The first time I saw it, I enjoyed it, and I didn't see it theatrically. I saw it when it hit DVD. And a few years ago, when the 4K first came out, I know it just got another 4K, but a few years ago, I picked it up and I watched it, and I just didn't connect with me at all. Like I was like, I really don't like this. Because I love the original with the Boris Karloff narration. I actually really like, I know Ozzy's Nightmare because it's 90-minute animated film. The Benedict Cumberbatch one or whatever his name is, the Doctor Strange voiceover, the Illumination and one. I really like that. That I think that might be my favorite version. But going back in and rewatching this because I kind of knew if I watched this at home, I was going to zone out. So since I went to the movies today and it timed out perfectly, I saw this again for the first time on the big screen. I'm really glad I did. It forced me to like really watch the movie because, at home you can easily tune out. When you're in a theater, that's what you're doing. And I did, and I really did appreciate it a lot more. And I had a really good time with it this viewing and noticed things I hadn't before. And I think now I really do appreciate it much more than I ever did. Not my favorite version, but I get the love for it a lot more now. So.
Awesome. Yeah, this is one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. And what was fun is right now, because they're celebrating the 25th anniversary, they were showing this in theaters, as you just mentioned, but they also did it in 4D, which was amazing. Like I felt like some 4D is overused. Sometimes it's too much and ruins the movie. Like when I saw the second Avatar movie, thought it was too much, but this was perfect. Like when they first go up to Mount Crumpet, they had the fans blowing, so you felt like the cold air and everything. And when it was like heavy snow, they had like bubbles or something coming down to do the snow. And, it really added a bunch to it. So it wasn't just the seats moving, but did
it make it stinky for when the Grinch showed up? With
it wasn't, no.
That's awesome.
Like super bad, but it was definitely like it's not pleasant, but it's not bad. So there were some great moments for that. But I even picked up the new version that you just mentioned, the 4K 25th anniversary, which has some great moments in it. It's got a nice documentary about the making of it. I didn't realize this. Jim Carrey actually almost gave back all of his money for it to like quit because the costume and the mask and everything was, he started going through like extreme claustrophobia, and they were like, look, we can't do that, like we'd love to, you're the only guy who could do this role. And he genuinely loved doing it outside of the costume, so they hired people who like trained FBI, CIA people in torture and like how to like focus through torture to like get him through this process, apparently. So
Wow.
like, yeah, no, it was intense. I had just learned about it. So if you get a chance, I do recommend the new 4K. It has some great, info on it.
Thank
But
God, because if not, we would have got tortured. Because they obviously would have stuck Mike Myers in that costume. It would have been a nightmare. Cat in the Hat, not coming soon to Farce.
Oh man, one of the
But-
few movies I walked out of.
now I do have to say this does feel like a multiverse Grinch of sorts, because obviously Whoville was a lot more happy, overall. It wasn't as consumer as like the Boris Karloff version. But with this, I felt it pulls from all the other Grinch or the other Seuss's, where they talk about commercialism and all that fun stuff. So this is always, so that's why I think this is a Dr. Seuss love letter in a lot of ways, not just for Grinch. And I think that's and it's also hits personally to me in a lot of ways that I feel like people don't appreciate, the nice parts of the holidays and the kindness. And so it hits home. So I've always loved this movie, to sum up my long-winded opening thing.
Well, going into the favorite moments, I actually wrote down on my notes with my first viewing. I remember it was the dog, with one scene when Grinch gives him an idea, and then the shots on the dog, and it's just the dog, no movement, just looks to the left and looks back. And I remember in the theater like dying laughing, because I thought to myself, like, they couldn't have CGI'd that. It's too early. This is great. I don't know how they did that. It was hilarious, right? And even some of them, even more of the bits with the dog, it was more appreciated because it was practical. You didn't have the CGI to that extent back then. However, this time around, the scene where all the babies are being delivered to Whoville, right? And then one steps on the porch, and the father comes out and like looking like, "Oh my gosh, this is so cute." Some of that effect, but hey, this one looks like your boss. And I mean, like, I knew what the joke was, I guess, in high school, but it just, I guess, hits a little different now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Honorable mention going to the what if it's a cash bar line, in terms of thinking like, if
God
it's
damn it, Ozzy!
Did
You took my number one and my backup.
Oh well, crap.
Oh, you
Before
don't
you
have
say
the number
more.
3?
I have one other thing, and it is in the baby delivering scene. The
Okay.
fact that the Grinch gets stuck in a tree during a key party, and the fact he had to watch all the Who's Boning probably stuck in that tree is
Yes.
probably why he hates Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that's my favorite moment now. Which probably really was all the time, and I was being nice with the one Ozzy did.
Yeah. This scene always gets me, not only for its first punchline, but the follow-up punchline. There's a moment where the Grinch is in his cave and he's like, "I have all the company I need here." And he yells and there's an echo, and he's like, eventually he says, "I'm an idiot," for the echo to say the same thing, and it responds, "You're an idiot," which is funny enough and gets me every time. But then he goes into the moment where he goes on this little monologue talking about how the sound works, but he's talking very quietly so it doesn't echo back. And then at the end of it, it goes, "You're an idiot," and his reaction is perfect Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
I actually had that written down as well.
Well, thankfully, someone stopped Ozzy from talking.
I would have just said all of them. Going into the critiques here, which I mean shouldn't be too much of a surprise.
Yeah, what
Cindy,
is this one?
Cindy Lou Who singing while staring at Mount Crumpet. We didn't need that at all. Could have just cut that out completely. No problem. In fact, the runtime is already at 104 minutes. We could have shaved this down to 99.
Let's cut them out. Cut out them singing around the tree too.
No. Sing around the tree. That makes sense.
Oh,
but
wait.
just
Isn't the song
her.
Cindy Lou Who? Isn't the song she sang the song that was the single from the movie that plays over the credits with the real singers?
I think so.
That's why the song's in the movie, Ozzy.
I don't care. I don't want it in the movie. It's a critique, right? That's my critique of the movie. You don't need the song in there.
No time for love, Dr. Jones. Calm down.
But I will say something. I mean, aside from that, when you like take a step back and you watch the origin story, and I don't know if spoilers are a thing here, but basically, it can be argued that he turns into the Grinch because of how he was treated, right?
He saw the key party.
Well, yeah, no, but I mean, you know, the kid who eventually becomes mayor was the one who teased him in school because of, you know, he tried to shave, he tried to look nice, he meant well, right? And when he finally comes down to agree, this grand facilitator of this party, I can't remember what the name of the official title is, but he gets into it and then he's offered a shaver, and then all the Who's are laughing at him at that point. And then I'm like, well, now I'm totally on the Grinch's side. Screw Whoville. These guys are a bunch of assholes.
The Cheermeister, by the way.
Cheermeister. Yes.
Yes.
Cheermeister. So he was actually on board with the Cheermeister, and then it was the mayor that gave him the item that reminded him of school, and then everybody laughed at him. And at that point, I had no sympathy for anybody in Whoville, and I was actually glad that their Christmas was about to get stolen.
I think
At that point. So
yeah, I agree.
That was like the one
Cindy
tough part
Lou.
to be like, well, yeah, except for her, and maybe that's what the movie's trying to like have this theme of the one child can save a city in terms of can save the city's soul, so to speak, because the city got so swept up with consumerism and, you know, with this myth that this guy's just always been evil and bad and we should continue to make fun of him. She was the one that kind of saved the soul for the city. Sure. But at the same time, it's hard not to just root for the Grinch at that point and be like, yeah, take their Christmas. Why should they deserve a Christmas after treating you like crap?
I agree.
So that was a tough part in
Yeah.
terms of Todd.
my complaint is when he did his Ron Howard impression, when he took his hat off, it wasn't bald.
That'd have been great. So, oddly enough, my critique is also about clothing. So, when the Grinch goes down to Whoville, he's got like a cloak and everything on.
You caught
When
the
he gets-
grooming.
Yeah. He goes up to Mount Crumpet, and he even puts on a night thing. And then when he also goes down for the Cheermeister Award, he puts on lederhosen. And then when he goes down again, he's got a Santa outfit, and he talks about what to wear. But the moment an underage girl comes to his house, he's like, I'm good how I am, and he's not wearing a thing. Maybe that should be addressed and changed. You know, I'm even
Just
okay
for
with the fact.
2025.
I noticed it this time now too. It was why is he not dressed? It became, for me, it became more obvious when we did the flashback of him as a kid.
Right. He was clothed then as well. Now, I'm okay with Donald Duck, Winnie the Pooh situations where, like, when he did the Santa thing, it was only up top. You know, that's okay. It's for some reason. But yeah, the underage girl going up to his place, and she's like, I'm cool. Yeah, maybe a little something different.
25 years ago, it probably was.
Well, I could think the one thing this was trying to illustrate especially from his flashbacks showing that he was clothed. This was to show his true opposite of wanting to be like the Who's. He's just gonna, I'm not gonna wear clothes because the Who's wear clothes. I'm just trying to make sense of it.
Well, someone wanted to see what was in that fur because he had what's her name all on ready for him. Well, she was the town furry,
Christine Baranski. Which, by the way, when I first saw the movie, I thought they just gave her no makeup, just so she could stand out. But if you really look closely, she has like just the smallest hint of the nose gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, although funny you say that. The Cindy Lou, Taylor Momsen, because she was only 6 years old, they gave her no makeup at all except for the teeth, just because they didn't want to keep her in the makeup chair for that long because that's like 3 hours of work. So,
but she had the facial features that it worked.
Yeah, and that's why they also added that line in later of you haven't even grown into your nose yet.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. We all go through our Okay, great. So going into the rating here, I wouldn't say it was perfect, but still very enjoyable. In terms of trying to get a movie out of a 25-minute story that's been done in the past, it does a respectable job. And again, because Jim Carrey is the one individual who could ever play this kind of role to the extent of being that wacky cartoon character, I still am taking it just a bit down just because there are moments. Well, I mean, there's a song, but also that there's moments where we need to fill in this time.
How dare there be a song in like How the Grinch Stole Christmas when in the original special, half of the whole thing is songs?
Well, the original special is only 25 minutes.
Yeah, and
so
how much music
when you
did
say
you get
more
in
than
there?
half,
so you
listen. The only song I need in the Grinch is the song at the very end when they just sing around the Christmas tree, like the story. I don't need 3 minutes. You need.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
No, I don't need any one person singing in a movie is pointless.
No, you need your mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Singing,
how was Mr. Grinch not gonna have his goddamn song in his damn movie?
He can have.
He's one person.
But this was from the original. This was a different song.
Rules.
What? Yeah, my singing rules. If it sucks, I don't want to hear it. And it sucked in that moment because it slowed things down. And now I'm upset.
Although her new rendition, the rock version, was pretty sweet. I did appreciate it.
Okay. All right.
And by the way, speaking of songs, Jim Carrey actually did sing his version of The Grinch for that film. Anyway, did you give it a score?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It is a 4 out of 5 for me. Because I think the replay value or rewatch value, I should say, is hindered just a bit once you've seen it.
I'm a 4 out of 5 also, but not for Ozzy's reasons. I like the other ones a little bit better, but I do appreciate this one now, and I definitely will watch it again in the future.
I think I need to watch the Benedict Cumberbatch one, just see how it is. But I obviously this is a 5 out of 5 for me. And in 4D, it's a 5.5 out of 5. It adds just a little bit extra to it to make it that much more exciting. Like the sleigh ride down, the seats going. That was a good time. Or when the fire goes up for the sleigh situation, it started shooting off smoke and everything. It was a great time. But yeah, it's always one of my favorites. Can't give it any less than a 5.
What?
And as of December 14th, if you'd like to check it out on streaming, you can do so on Peacock. Looks like it'll be available there till the end of the month. Also looks to be available on Fubo, Crunchyroll, Freeform, Prime Video as well. All looking like... Sorry, Todd?
Prime Video is probably a rental. No, it's on both? Okay.
There. Yeah. Looks like all these streaming services will have it available till the end of the month. So
nice.
If you want to see it, do it before December 31st. And this does conclude our review of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the 2000 version, directed by Ron Howard. Did you happen to be in the Orange County area this week? Todd, help me out here. When's this episode airing?
Well, thank you, Ozzy. It's airing right before Christmas. Today is the 22nd of December.
Good to know. So today being the 22nd of December, if you are in the Orange County area, I'll be hosting trivia this Tuesday, the 23rd, over in Lake Forest at the Rush Barn Grill beginning at 7 o'clock. There will be no trivia this week, this Wednesday at the Brewery in Placentia, as it will be Christmas Eve. Next Wednesday will not be trivia. There will be, because of New Year's Eve, I'll still be there Tuesday at Lake Forest, and then back to regular schedule after the holidays. You can contact me directly through private message if you need any clarification. Actually, you know what, Todd? I apologize. I have not been doing my due diligence in allowing you to share what's been going on in Flesh Wound Horror. So for this week, what do you guys have planned?
It's the 22nd. Our Christmas party is this week. We'll watch some Christmas commercials and some other fun stuff that you'll find out tomorrow or the next day.
So when is that happening? When is that releasing?
It's going to be on.
Special.
We're deciding if it's tomorrow or Christmas Eve because.
Oh, okay. All right. So stay tuned for that.
We'll have
Greg,
something tomorrow, the next 2 days for sure. Don't know which order yet.
I got you. Greg, do you have any news or updates?
Oh, just congratulations to Expedition 33 for getting as many awards as they did in the video game awards. Outside of that, no, good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, this does conclude our review of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Feel free to check it out. Regardless, we'll still be back here next week. So for world-famous juggler Greg Larson and Flesh Wound producer Todd, we'll see you next time right here on a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Farce.